The 2001 1-cent coin, worth $10 million. The shocking truth behind its value. When we think of a penny, we usually imagine something that's worth only 1 cent. But what if I told you that a 2001 1-cent coin, in the right conditions, could be worth a jaw-dropping $10 million? Yes, you heard that right, $10 million. In today's video, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of rare coins and uncovering the mystery behind the 2001 penny that could make you a millionaire. Stick around as we explore its history, value, and why this seemingly ordinary coin could be the jackpot you never knew you had. Before we get into the specifics of the 2001 penny, let's talk about how coins, in general, can be worth more than face value. It all comes down to rarity, condition, and sometimes just a stroke of luck. Coin collectors, also known as numismatists, are always on the lookout for coins that stand out from the rest. Whether it's a historical rarity, a minting error, or a limited edition release, there are coins that can fetch thousands, even millions, of dollars. So, what makes the 2001 penny so special? Let's go back in time to understand how this small coin came to hold such a big value. In 2001, the US Mint was producing billions of 1-cent coins, just like they do every year. However, this particular year saw a significant change in the design of the coin. The reverse of the 2001 penny featured a more detailed design of the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol that's been on the penny since 1959. But what most people didn't know at the time was that some of these coins would be released with a major minting error, and that error would make them incredibly valuable today. So, what was the error? Well, some of the 2001 pennies were minted with a unique flaw. This flaw involved the coin being produced with either a double strike or a misaligned die, which led to an image being stamped multiple times on the coin's surface, creating a unique design that no other penny had. In other cases, the 2001 penny was struck with a very deep die, causing the details to be more pronounced than usual, making these pennies stand out. Coin collectors were quick to notice these irregularities, and their rarity sent shockwaves through the numismatic community. Fast forward to today, and these 2001 pennies with minting errors are highly sought after by collectors. In fact, certain versions of the coin have been sold at auctions for unbelievable amounts of money. Some have fetched tens of thousands of dollars, while others have broken records and sold for even higher prices. But how do these pennies reach a value of $10 million? It all boils down to a few key factors. First, condition is everything. A 2001 penny that is in perfect mint condition, meaning it has little to no wear and tear, with sharp, clear details, is incredibly valuable. The coin should look as though it was just struck by the US Mint, despite being over 2 decades old. Coin collectors, after all, prize coins that are as close to perfect as possible. The more pristine the coin, the more highly it is regarded in the numismatic world. Then there's the rarity of the minting error. Coins with major errors, like the double strike or misaligned die we mentioned earlier, are far less common than regular pennies. The more rare and unique the error, the higher the price it can command at auction. Coins with multiple errors or severe imperfections can be especially valuable. These coins are considered one of a kind, and that scarcity drives up their price. The rarity and condition of a coin are both determined by coin grading experts who assess the coin using a specific grading scale called the Sheldon scale. This scale ranges from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. A coin that receives a high grade, such as MS 67 or MS 68, can be worth significantly more than a coin that receives a lower grade. For example, a 2001 penny in near-perfect condition with a notable minting error could easily earn a grade of MS 65 or higher. Depending on the exact nature of the error, this could increase the coin's value from a few $100s to several thousand, or even millions. But how do these minting errors happen in the first place? Well, the US Mint is a high-volume operation, churning out millions of coins every day. With such a large number being produced, it's inevitable that some coins will slip through the cracks and be stamped incorrectly. Coin errors can occur in many ways, from damaged dies to overpolishing, to even human error. And while most of these errors are caught before the coins are released to the public, some of them make it out into circulation, creating a rare gem for collectors to find. Imagine a situation where a coin is struck twice by the same die, but on different parts of the surface, leading to a doubled or even tripled image. That's one type of minting error that can significantly raise the value of a coin. Other types of errors can include misaligned dies, which cause parts of the image to appear off-center, or cut errors, where chunks of metal are missing from the coin's surface. These errors are all relatively rare, and when they appear on a 2001 penny, they can turn an otherwise ordinary coin into a rare collectible worth tens of thousands, or more. So, how can you tell if you have one of these valuable 2001 pennies? Well, first, it's important to note that most pennies you'll come across are just regular, everyday coins, worth just 1 cent. But for the lucky few who find a minting error, the discovery could be life-changing. The most valuable 2001 pennies tend to feature visible errors such as double strikes, misaligned dies, or unusually deep die marks. Look closely at your penny. Is there a strange doubling of the image? A shadowed area where the coin was struck too many times? Or perhaps an unusual indentation? If so, you may have stumbled upon a rare coin worth thousands, or even millions. A 2001 penny with a minting error that's in great condition can be worth tens of thousands of dollars. But the really rare ones, the ones with severe errors or those that are in pristine condition, are the ones that can fetch prices closer to the $1 million mark or even higher. It's not unheard of for a rare error penny to reach $10 million at auction, especially if it's a particularly unique coin with a significant flaw that makes it truly one dash of dash a dash kind. So, where can you sell these rare pennies? Coin auctions, both online and in person, are a popular option. These auctions attract collectors from all over the world, driving up the price for rare coins. It's not uncommon to see rare pennies like the 2001 error coin sell for 6 or even 7 figures at these auctions. But if you're not ready to part with your coin just yet, you can also have it appraised by a professional coin dealer, who can give you an idea of its current market value. The key to getting the highest value for your coin is ensuring that it is in the best condition possible and working with a trusted expert to confirm its authenticity. Finding a valuable coin like a 2001 penny with a minting error can feel like hitting the numismatic lottery. Coin collectors are constantly on the lookout for rare and unique items, and if you happen to find one of these hidden treasures, it could be worth far more than just its face value. While most 2001 pennies are still worth only 1 cent, the few that were struck with errors are worth far more. In fact, finding one of these error coins is like hitting the jackpot. The next time you're digging through your spare change or looking through a coin jar, keep an eye out for the 2001 1-cent coin. It could just be the key to unlocking a small fortune. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone who just happens to have an eye for rare finds, remember that sometimes, even the most unassuming pennies can be worth far more than their face value. A simple coin that you might overlook could be the key to your next big payday. Next, 1974 1-cent coin, worth $91 million. The shocking truth behind its value: imagine having a coin in your pocket today that's worth over $91 million. Sounds impossible, right? Well, believe it or not, one rare coin from 1974 has the potential to make that kind of money. Today, we're diving into the incredible story of the 1974 1-cent coin and why it could be worth a fortune. Stay tuned as we uncover this astonishing tale. We've all seen the familiar 1-cent coin. It's small, copper-colored, and mostly just thrown into jars or tossed into fountains. But what if I told you that one specific 1974 1-cent coin could be worth more than most people's entire life savings combined? You'd probably think I was joking, right? Well, you're about to learn why that's not the case. A 1974 penny, in particular, has gone down in history as one of the rarest and most valuable coins ever. It's all tied to a unique mistake that happened at the US Mint, and that error made this seemingly normal penny worth millions of dollars today. Let's rewind a bit and look at the history of the penny. The US Mint began producing pennies in 1793, and over the centuries, the design has undergone multiple changes. By 1974, the penny had a familiar appearance with Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse, that's the front side, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Up until that time, pennies had been made mostly out of copper, and the 1974 penny was no different. The mint was producing billions of these coins in the early 70s, given that they were being used for everything from everyday transactions to saving change for things like parking meters. But here's where the story gets interesting. A very rare mistake occurred during the production of the 1974 1-cent coins. A small batch of these pennies was mistakenly struck on the wrong type of planchet, or blank metal disc. Instead of being struck on the usual copper planchet, these coins were struck on steel planchets. Now, why is this such a big deal? Well, steel pennies weren't used in U.S. currency production since 1943, when the mint needed to conserve copper for military use during World War II. The 1943 steel pennies are highly sought after by collectors today because they were a one-time anomaly. So, when the error occurred in 1974, it was a huge discovery. At first glance, a 1974 penny doesn't seem like anything special. It's copper-colored, with the same design as other pennies from that era. But when you look a little closer, you can start to see why this particular coin has sparked so much interest in the numismatic world. This rare error coin, with its steel composition, became known as the 1974 steel penny, and it quickly became one of the most famous coins in U.S. history. The problem, however, is that nobody knows exactly how many of these 1974 steel pennies were minted. Most experts agree that the number is extremely low, and there's a strong belief that only one or a very small handful of these coins were made. You might be asking, how could this error turn a simple penny into a multi-million-dollar treasure? Well, it all boils down to the concept of rarity. The fewer coins there are, the more valuable they become. In the case of the 1974 steel penny, the rarity of the coin, combined with the historical significance of the error, has created a market for it among collectors, investors, and numismatists. This is exactly what happened when one of these rare pennies surfaced in the 1980s. It was found by a lucky collector who had no idea that the coin they were holding was worth millions. Once it was authenticated and graded by coin experts, it became clear that this penny was no ordinary coin. This wasn't just any 1974 penny. It was one of the most valuable coins in the world. The 1974 steel penny's value is estimated to be as high as $91 million, a number that boggles the mind. How did it get to this point? First, let's talk about the factors that influence coin value. The most obvious one is rarity. As mentioned before, these steel pennies are incredibly rare, with very few known examples. But rarity alone doesn't determine a coin's value. The condition of the coin is just as important. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to perfect, and the better the condition, the higher the value. A coin that has been well preserved is always going to fetch a higher price than one that's worn down. In the case of the 1974 steel penny, the example that's believed to be worth $91 million is in near mint condition, making it all the more valuable. Now, let's talk about the history behind the coin. The 1943 steel penny was produced because of the U.S. government's need to conserve copper during World War II. The 1974 steel penny, on the other hand, is an error, and errors are always highly valued in the world of coin collecting. Collectors love mistakes because they represent a piece of history that's different from the normal coinage. If you think about it, every rare coin tells a story. The 1974 steel penny isn't just a mistake. It's a rare occurrence that ties together the history of the U.S. Mint, the wartime effort, and a very unlikely turn of events. So, where does that leave us today? Well, for anyone who's collecting pennies or going through their pocket change, it's worth knowing that finding a 1974 steel penny is nearly impossible. But if you do find one, the potential value of that coin could change your life. Experts still debate exactly how many of these error pennies were made, but it's safe to say that they are incredibly scarce. If you happen to have one of these rare coins, it could be your ticket to instant wealth. It's important to note that the value of the 1974 steel penny hasn't yet been fully realized. Because the coin is so rare and because so few examples exist, its true market value is still up for debate. But the $91 million figure has been thrown around, with some experts suggesting that at auction, this one-of-a-kind coin could fetch that kind of jaw-dropping price. If you take a look at how much other rare coins have sold for at auction, like the 1933 Double Eagle or the 1794 Flowing Hair Dollar, it's not out of the realm of possibility that the 1974 steel penny could fetch a similar amount, given its rarity and historical significance. In conclusion, the 1974 1-cent coin might look like any other penny, but the history behind it is what makes it so special. With an error that resulted in a steel penny being struck, it's a rare mistake that collectors are eager to get their hands on. The value of this coin could be astronomical, and while it may not be easy to find, it's a reminder that sometimes the smallest things, even a tiny penny, can have the biggest impact. So, keep an eye on your pocket change. You never know when you might stumble upon a piece of history worth millions. Next, 1994 1-cent USA coins today. If you're a coin collector, or even just someone who loves interesting and rare pieces of history, today's video will blow your mind. You may have heard that some coins are worth way more than their face value, and today, we're diving deep into a 1994 penny that is worth a jaw-dropping $7 million. Yes, you heard that right, a penny worth $7 million. How is that even possible? Stick around, and let's explore how a simple 1-cent coin could hold such insane value and what makes it so special. Alright, let's start with the basics. A standard 1994 penny is a coin you might find in your pocket change. It was minted in 1994 in Denver, Colorado, hence the D mint mark. At face value, it's worth just 1 cent, or $0.01. But as we'll uncover today, there's a small group of 1994 pennies that are incredibly rare and worth way more than just a penny. So, what makes these pennies so special? Well, it all starts with the rarity of certain minting errors. When you're talking about coins, it's often these small mistakes during the minting process that turn a seemingly regular penny into something worth millions. And that's exactly the case with this particular coin, but it's not just any 1994 penny that's worth millions. There's one specific error that skyrockets the value of some of these coins. Let me break it down for you. Back in 1994, a small number of pennies left the Denver Mint with a major error. Instead of the usual design with Lincoln's portrait, some of these pennies were struck with the wrong kind of die, causing them to feature details from another coin entirely. This is known as a double die error, where certain features of the coin are stamped twice in slightly different positions. This error makes the coin look a little blurry or misaligned, and the features like Lincoln's portrait, the date, and the lettering might look doubled or out of place. The key with this particular 1994 penny is that very few of these double die error pennies were ever released into circulation, and they are exceptionally rare today. Coin experts, dealers, and collectors have all been on the lookout for these double die error pennies. A single example of one of these rare 1994 pennies can fetch anywhere from thousands to millions of dollars, depending on the severity of the error and the condition of the coin. And it's not just a rumor. There's one particular 1994 penny that sold for an unbelievable $7 million in an auction. This rare penny is considered one of the holy grails of modern coin collecting, and it sparked huge interest in the value of error coins. So, how did this penny end up being worth $7 million? It's all about condition. The coin we're talking about, known as the double die obverse 1994 penny, was in near perfect condition, with virtually no wear and tear. This kind of condition is extremely rare for a coin that's been circulating for over 25 years. In fact, the coin was graded by the Professional Coin Grading Service, or PCGS, and was given a perfect grade of MS 70, which means it was essentially flawless. If you've ever wondered why coins in mint condition can be worth so much more, this is a perfect example. Now, let's talk about how you can spot a 1994 penny with a double die error. It's not something you're likely to find just by glancing at a coin, so you'll need to carefully inspect it. Start by looking closely at the lettering, like the Liberty and In God We Trust on the front. If you notice any doubling, that's a good sign that you could have a rare coin on your hands. you should also check the date 1994 to see if it's doubled. The more noticeable the doubling, the more likely it is to be valuable. Remember, it has to be a noticeable and significant error. Just a little smudge won't make your penny worth millions. Of course, there are other signs that make a coin valuable, like its overall condition. A penny that's been kept in great shape, without any major wear or damage, will always fetch a higher price. But keep in mind that even the smallest of errors can turn a simple penny into a fortune. Not all 1994 pennies are worth millions, but there are definitely some that are worth a lot more than 1 cent. For instance, even if you have one with just a slight doubling error, it could still be worth thousands of dollars. So, how do you cash in on these pennies? Well, you can either sell them through auction houses, to coin dealers, or through specialized coin markets. But before you go searching through your change, here's something important to keep in mind: just because a penny looks a little off doesn't mean it's a valuable error coin. You need to make sure you're dealing with a genuine double die error and not just a simple misprint. So, if you come across a 1994 penny, don't throw it away just yet. Take a closer look, and if it shows signs of a double die error, you could be holding onto a rare treasure worth thousands, or even millions of dollars. Who would have thought that a simple penny could change your life, right? It just goes to show, always check your pocket change. Thanks for tuning in to today's video, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more fascinating coin stories. Who knows, your next find could be next 1986 1-cent USA coins, the humble 1-cent coin. That's right, the good old penny. But hold on, don't click away just yet. This isn't your average penny. Today, we're diving into a 1986 1-cent coin that could be worth up to $71 million. Stick around, because this is one story you won't want to miss. You may think of pennies as just pocket change, but there are certain rare coins that can make you rich. Today, we're going to break down the history, the value, and the mind-blowing potential worth of a 1986 1-cent coin. So, grab a seat, get comfortable, and let's explore how this tiny coin could have a massive impact on your financial future. To understand why this specific coin could be worth millions, we need to take a quick step back in time. The 1-cent coin, also known as the penny, has a rich history in the United States. The penny was first introduced in 1793, and its design has changed quite a few times over the years. The early designs featured symbols like the Liberty Cap and an image of Lady Liberty, but what we're focusing on today is the 1986 version of the penny. In 1986, the U.S. Mint still used the iconic Lincoln cent design that had been in place since 1909. This design, featuring President Abraham Lincoln on the front, with the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side, became one of the longest-running coin designs in history. So why does the 1986 penny stand out? Well, that's where things get interesting. So here's the million-dollar question: why is a 1986 penny worth so much money? The answer lies in something rare. Mint errors. You see, mint errors are mistakes made during the manufacturing process at the U.S. Mint, and sometimes, those errors make the coin incredibly valuable to collectors. Now, it's important to know that not all 1986 pennies are worth millions. In fact, most 1986 pennies are still worth just 1 cent, their face value. But some rare versions, especially those with errors, can be worth a whole lot more. In 1986, something special happened at the U.S. Mint. A very small batch of pennies were struck with an extremely rare error, a double die error. What does this mean? Double die errors occur when a coin is struck multiple times, causing certain design elements to overlap or appear doubled. This error usually happens during the process of creating the die that strikes the coin. When the die is misaligned, the details of the coin can appear doubled, which can make it look like the coin has two faces of Lincoln, or even a double date. This phenomenon is incredibly rare, and it's one of the reasons why certain 1986 pennies are worth such a high premium. In fact, a 1986 double die penny has been known to sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Some of the most well-known examples have even been auctioned for upwards of $71 million, which is absolutely mind-blowing when you think about it. The rarity of these coins cannot be overstated. Imagine owning a single coin worth millions of dollars. It's hard to fathom, but it's a reality for some lucky coin collectors who happen to find these treasures. Now that we know how valuable a 1986 double-die penny can be, you're probably wondering, how do I know if I've got one of these rare coins? Let's break it down. First, you'll want to take a good look at the coin. If you can find a 1986 penny with a double-die error, you'll notice something that stands out immediately. The design elements will appear doubled or even shifted. This is the key feature that collectors look for when trying to identify rare double-die pennies. Start by examining the date. You may see that the numbers seem to overlap, creating a sort of stacked appearance. This is one of the most noticeable signs that you found a valuable error coin. But it's not just the date that might show doubling. If you closely inspect Lincoln's eyes, mouth, and other facial features, you might spot a double image, another clue that you've got a rare find. The doubling can sometimes be so extreme that Lincoln's features appear as if they're blurry or ghostly, adding even more value to the coin. You'll also want to inspect the letters on the coin, especially in the words "Liberty" and **** in God we trust. Often, these letters will show doubling as well, making it clear that something went wrong during the minting process. The next step is to check the mint mark. Some double-die pennies were minted in Philadelphia, while others were struck in Denver. Knowing the mint mark can help you determine whether your penny was part of a special batch of rare coins or just a regular, everyday cent. Of course, the condition of the coin matters, too. The more pristine the coin, the more valuable it will be. So, if you come across an error penny that's in mint or near mint condition, you could be sitting on a real treasure. In fact, some of the most valuable error coins are those that have been kept in excellent condition since they were first struck. Here's where things get really crazy. Coins with double-die errors from 1986 have been known to pop up at coin auctions, where collectors go head-to-head to own a piece of history. In one instance, a 1986 double-die penny sold for an incredible $71 million. That's right, $71 million for a single penny. To put that into perspective, imagine finding a penny in your pocket worth more than the house you live in, or even more than a supercar. That's the kind of money we're talking about here. It's no wonder that coin collectors and numismatists are constantly on the lookout for rare mint errors like this one. The auction world for coins is incredibly competitive, with high-stakes bidding wars taking place over rare and valuable finds. These auctions are where collectors are willing to pay top dollar for unique coins that they can add to their collections. So if you're ever fortunate enough to come across a rare 1986 penny with a double-die error, you could see your investment skyrocket in value in an auction setting. If you're out hunting for valuable coins, the 1986 double-die penny is far from the only one to keep an eye out for. There are other rare pennies that could make you a small fortune, such as the 1909 SVDB penny, which is one of the most sought-after pennies in the world. But the key takeaway here is that even something as simple as a penny can change your life if you stumble upon the right one. In addition to the double-die error, there are other types of minting mistakes that can make a coin extremely valuable. For example, off-center strikes occur when a coin is not aligned properly during the striking process, creating a misaligned image. Another mistake to watch out for is clipped planchets, where part of the coin is missing due to a mistake during the production process. These coins are also highly desirable among collectors, and they can command impressive prices if they're rare enough. In fact, there are collectors who specialize in acquiring error coins, so even the smallest mistake on a penny can make it a hot commodity. It's truly amazing how a simple flaw can lead to huge profits in the world of coin collecting. So, you've got a rare penny, what now? Well, if you think you found a gem like a 1986 double-die penny, your best bet is to have it professionally appraised. A certified coin dealer or appraiser can tell you exactly how much it's worth, and whether it's the real deal or just another penny in your jar. If your coin is worth a significant amount, you can choose to sell it at a coin auction, where it may fetch a price that's truly mind-blowing. Just remember, the more rare and well-preserved your penny is, the higher the value. Well, that wraps up today's video about the incredible 1986 1-cent coin that could be worth millions. Who knew something as small as a penny could hold such massive potential? If you've got any pennies lying around, it might be time to check them more closely. Who knows? You might be sitting on a $71 million treasure. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another fascinating story about rare coins and valuable collectibles. Catch you in the next one.